Hey, Bath County team. I wanted to share an update to our student success meeting protocol. We discussed this for many of our meetings in the previous week regarding the updates to our student success protocol and how we're going to take it to the next level. With that, in order to take it to the next level, we are going to be doing the plan do prior to the study act. Whereas last year in the past, we've just brought in data and we brought in the data and then we've reflected on the data of how we taught it and what we could do next time and how we can differentiate and meet those students' needs. This year, on top of that, we're doing the plan do portion of that, where we are discussing the lesson that is coming up. We're going to look at the assessment that we are planning to give at the end of the lesson to ensure that it meets the depth of the standard. And then in that meeting, we're going to come up with a great tier 1 lesson so that we minimize the lack of mastery or increase mastery in our lesson. So with that, real quick, here is this student success protocol that has been updated. I wanted to walk you through it, do a video walkthrough for you of what it looks like. So you'll notice our student success, it says BCHS, but it'll apply to every school. Your template will just have a different name on it and different periods listed. We're all following the same protocol. Day 1 is the first week. We're doing back-to-back weeks. 1 week we'll do plan do. The following week, directly after, we'll do the study act. So the first meeting will be that date. We use the same protocol the next date. As we go down with the first team or any team, the protocol looks very similar, but it has changed slightly. You'll notice that the activator is listed. It will list our activator. The note taker will be listed, and then the presenter or the presenters of the meeting will be listed here. Our checklist, day 1, you'll have make sure the first 2 are selected, and day 2, whenever we meet the following week, we'll make sure the other areas are covered. With that, everything else is very similar. We'll cover our norms that we discussed, our agenda the same, but then you'll notice in our plan do, it'll say day 1 here. This is what we do prior to coming. So if you're the presenter, you'll add the name of your lesson here, however long your unit is that you're currently on based on your pacing guide that we developed at the beginning of the year, the estimated length of that unit, and what number day you are in that unit. Or if you're at 0, you haven't started it yet, that's fine. If you're right in the middle of it, that's fine as well. And then the standards to be learned, you'll copy and paste directly the entire length of the standard in this document. And then we have our clarity portion where we worked on teacher clarity last year and over the summer as well. You will take the learning intentions that you develop from your standards and you'll place them here. Your learning intention with the success criteria that follows. Now we know that success criteria changes daily, but the core ones that we'll be following for the lesson that we'll be discussing here today. With that, following that to ensure we have that in, you want to do this prior to the meeting. So have that copy and paste of that. That will help us to be more efficient on our time. The next portion of that, what we will do in the meeting, bring your assessment with you, your planned assessment. We will review the assessment to ensure that the assessment is aligned to the standards. It's going to help us to make a better assessment to ensure that our students know what true mastery is based on the standards. So bring your assessment, and then the facilitator, presenter of the meeting will go through each one of these sections to ensure that our assessment meets those areas. And if not, no big deal. It's just, let's make this better. Let's get a best assessment we possibly can. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to do is take notes on the feedback from this. Once we go through each one, you'll check the box, take notes on the feedback. The note taker will take notes on the feedback that is shared from the assessment. The next item that we'll have is the instructional strategies that we'll talk about. We'll talk about the lesson, the presenter will, here's what I'm planning to teach, and then we'll go over the core things that make a lesson great. Here's my instructional method that I'm planning. You won't type this in prior to, the note taker will fill all of these areas out as we go through it. And then when we do that, we're finished with day 1. We'll discuss every one of these areas, go in detail with great instructional plans, and then that'll make our day 1 very efficient. For when our following meeting comes back, we'll go over the same protocol we've done in the past, looking at data, the students that did not get it, the name and claim, and the plans to reach towards efficiency or proficiency. There you go. That's in a nutshell what it is. Thank you all for being fantastic teachers, and I look forward to great student success meetings with you this year.